Hello and welcome to the IIT Madras Do It Yourself program. I am Aditya Rao and I study electronics at IIT Madras. In this program, we'll be teaching you to make a lot of interesting electronic projects. So let me help you do it yourself. These are the components required to build a four-wheeled robot. Right here we have the multiple variety of wheels. This is a wheel with a diameter of 60 mm and the thickness is 20 mm. These are special wheels known as Mecanum wheels. Their diameter is 80 mm and they have these special dowels mounted at an angle of 45 degrees. These wheels, along with a special software and a code written for the microcontroller on the robot, allow for a lateral movement of the robot without actually turning the direction of these wheels. These are a smaller variety of the wheels that can be used for a robot. Their diameter is 40 mm and the thickness is 10 mm. These wheels have a diameter of 70 mm and their thickness is 40 mm. Now this wheel is a thinner version of the same wheel which I showed earlier. It has a diameter of 70 mm and the thickness is 20 mm. These are dual shaft BO motors. They work well within an operating voltage of 7 to 9 volts. These are 12 volt geared DC motors. They are available in a variety of options, but it is recommended to use motors ranging between 100 rpm to 300 rpm for your four-wheeled robot. These components are what is known as a dummy. It can be used if you don't want to use all four motors. You can consider using only two motors and the other two can be replaced by this dummy with a wheel attached. This is the chassis. There are a lot of options for the chassis, including making your own one out of a plastic box. But this one right here is made out of bent sheet metal. So these are the wires that can be used for making the connections on our four-wheeled robot. These wires are male to female. They can be used for making the connections between the breadboard and the motor driver. And these are the wires which are male to male. They can be used for making connections within the breadboard. And this is the breadboard itself. It is easier to use burr wires and breadboard if you are prototyping and in the testing phase of building your robot. Now these are the main electronic boards that we are going to be using on our robot. This right here is the Raspberry Pi Zero. It can run an entire Linux operating system. This is the heat shield, the black color casing which you see around it. This is the Raspberry Pi Pico WH. It is the Pico W because of the Wi-Fi module that you see and the WH because of the header pins. Now this is an RP2040 microcontroller and it has a Cortex chip. This is the L298N motor driver. This is the L293D motor driver. And this is the MP1495 down converter module. This is a multimeter that can be used to measure the voltage at various points. And these are the wires of the multimeter. Now, these are 18650 lithium ion batteries that can be used to power the robot. The voltages are 3.7 volts and three of them together can give a maximum power of around 12 volts. This is the battery compartment where three of the batteries can be fixed together and can be attached on the robot. This is a charger that can be used to charge the batteries. A switch can be used between the batteries and the remaining circuitry of the robot to turn off the robot to prevent any power loss. These are cutters that can be used to cut the wires while making the wiring of the robot. And finally, a soldering iron that can be used to make all the important electrical connections in your robot. All these components together can be used in different permutations, and a multiple variety of 4-wheeled robots can be made.